Hi, I'm Horny Ramen and welcome to my kitchen. Together we're going to look at all things ramen, some things not ramen, and pretty much anything I love to eat. Today we're going to do something in the Dutch Rudder series, which is beef ribs in the oven. I've never made this recipe before, so let's see how it goes. Alright, so we're going to make up these ribs and we're going to start with the dry rub. So I took the recipe that I found online and I replaced the things that I couldn't find in the stores, and well, we can't say it's authentically their recipe, but we'll see what Horny Ramen comes up with. So let's start with what we got here. The dry rub is going to be a tablespoon of garlic powder, a tablespoon of onion powder, a tablespoon of Cajun spice, which is Cajun spice is basically everything else that we've got here, so we're just going to use the no Cajun spice. So next we got the chili powder, which is 1 teaspoon, a teaspoon of salt, in which case I'm using piri piri salt that I got from Portugal. It was a gift from a good friend, so we're going to try that. And then we've got a teaspoon of paprika, 2 tablespoons of oregano, and we're gonna use powdered smoke. This is hickory smoke. It's dry. It said to use liquid smoke, but I don't know how much of the liquid smoke I was supposed to use, and I don't know how much of this stuff I'm supposed to use, so I just use a half a teaspoon. So half a teaspoon of hickory smoke. And then 2 tablespoons of dark brown sugar. We're gonna mix that together and coat the ribs. So this recipe is from DivasCanCook.com. It's not exactly the way they explained it, but I'm going to do my best to replicate as much as I can. They also say to use your favorite barbecue sauce, so I'm going to use the Diana sauce for ribs. So let's see how this turns out. I've never made beef ribs before, so this should prove to be interesting. Alright, so we've got our dry rub all done. We'll set that aside and then we'll take out the ribs, and we're supposed to clean them off, dry them off, and then mix them in a Ziploc bag with this dry rub. So let's see how it goes. These guys should turn out pretty nice. Alright, an important part about making meat is that when you wash it, you really want to dry it down properly. Going to be a good one. That's the one I'm going to eat in front of you unapologetically. Next thing we need is 3 tablespoons of oil, and then we're going to coat the ribs in oil, and then we're going to add the dry rub by swooshing it around the bottom. The next step is to add the dry rub to the ribs, and we'll put them in a Ziploc bag. Yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow's dinner. This is going to be alright. I don't know if these are all going to fit into one bag, so I'm going to split them up maybe. Let's see. That rub does smell good. That brown sugar is going to make it so nice and sticky. These little ribbies stayed in the fridge. In the fridge. So while those ribs marinate, we're going to do some other responsibility things. I hope you guys are still here when we cook them up. Time killers like changing the headlight on your car, and then because you're such a champion, dropping the old headlight somewhere in the engine compartment and having to fish it out. Rockstar. Yeah, and because you can't cook ribs with dirty hands, let's clean the filthy pig. And thinking about those ribs makes me really meat hungry, so let's have a little steak for dinner. Pat it down, salt and pepper, and why not a little salad? So some rucola, some Mr. Noodles, we'll just use the noodle part, handful of onions, dried cranberries, and a little homemade dressing. Oh, steak again. Yummy, 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 yummy steak. And welcome back to the rib episode. So it's day 2. We've had the ribs marinating in the Ziploc bags with their dry rub overnight. And what we're going to do now is take them out of the bag, put them on a baking sheet, tent it with tin foil, and put in the oven for 3.5 to 4 hours at 250. It's going to be great. Here are the ribs. Oh yes. Put them on a baking sheet with tin foil. And now I'm going to pause it and put on the other camera. We'll put the ribs down on the foil and tent it over. Meantime, I'm going to start the oven at 250. It's going to stay in there for a long time. Didn't say which side to put these down on, so I'm just going to put them on the edge. Wish you could smell these. Now we're going to tent it over. Behold, the mummy is ready for its mystical journey. You can comment in if you remember which episode that's from. Alright, so we've been over 3.5 hours and we're gonna pull out the ribs. We gotta sauce them and then we're gonna broil them to sticky up the sauce. Here we go. Oh, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. Wouldn't kick those ribs out of bed for eating lasagna? Yeah. So it says to remove the fat, so there's not very much fat, but we're going to do it anyway. I'm sorry you can't smell this. Alright, so you put them in a bowl. We're going to put them aside, tray, and just drain out the fat and replace the ribs. In a nice clean tray, we're going to put the ribs back on. Now we're going to get, it says your favorite barbecue sauce. Today we're going to use Diana's chicken and rib sauce, and we're going to paint it on. Oh yeah. Okay, and we also have to turn this on the broiler. So that's going to broil up. We're going to rub the sauce. Oh my god, you can't smell this, but it's so nice. I'm going to be generous because I was just out at Esposito and they were selling these bottles for 99 cents, so I've got a couple extra. We're all sauced up, and we're going to put it back in the broil. See you in a few minutes. Let's have a look at these guys. So these were in the broiler for about 10 minutes. It goes super fast in the broiler, but we're gonna do a little pull it apart test. Yep, that's gonna be okay. A little taster here. Well, it's not fork soft, but, and we're gonna have a little bite. That'll do. Awesome. So that's our Dutch Rudder episode for the ribs by DivasCanCook. What a great recipe. Thank you so much, Divas. We're going to enjoy these.